Hello, and welcome to Straight No Chaser with Dr. Julius Bailey. As you know, I am Dr. Julius Bailey, and we are live on the campus, a brisk day here at Wittenberg University in Springfield, Ohio. If this is your first time to Straight No Chaser, as I always say, we welcome you and we thank you for coming here. We are a 1-hour digital talk show where we bring you news, culture, politics, and sometimes we bring you some fun. If you enjoy what you experienced today, we ask you to like the Straight No Chaser page on Facebook. Also, you can subscribe to us on YouTube, share it with your friends, and let them know what's going on. Hey, we are 8 days away from this election. I know some of you just hope it hurry up and ends, right? But hopefully this will be the beginning of a new political era, both in my state here in Ohio, as well as the nation. I ask you, have you voted yet, right? Remember, across America, early voting has begun. And so you want to go to your county board. You want to fill out your mail-in, have a plan, right? Execute it, as they say, but bring a friend with you, right? I'm not ashamed to say that I am so excited to have cast my vote for my dear friend and colleague and Professor Cynthia Richards, for the State House District 79 of Ohio. That's my sister. That's my friend. She is good for Ohio. She's good for this area. I am unashamedly proud to say I voted for Miss Sheila Rice for Clerk of Courts here in Clark County. And U.S. House of Representatives. I did vote for the Ohio 8th District, Vanessa Enoch. Of course, y'all in the 10th know to get down with Desiree Timms. Admittedly, I didn't vote for sheriff. I ain't gonna lie to you. There's a lot of reasons I didn't. But if you want to debate me why I didn't cast a vote, you can. But I didn't vote for sheriff here in Clark County, Ohio. I don't know Garmin. And Burkett, she and I have our issues when it comes to police in schools, but people like her, and I really don't care to, I don't know. Anyway, let's just move forward. But speaking of Ohio, right, where most of you are today, but if you're around the country, thank you for coming. But today, I'm excited to kick off our show. We have a full show, but we're going to kick it off with the president of one of Ohio's pride and joys. I got to kick it off with this short clip. Let's go ahead and show this clip, Mr. Engineer. Oh, Marauderland. that is a hit. I tell you, ladies and gentlemen, welcome the captain and president of Marauderland, Dr. Jack Thomas. How are you, sir?
I'm doing well. Thank you, Dr. Bailey, for inviting me and for playing that song and coming from our band. So it makes me excited here at Central State University.
Man, for sure, man. That song, I ain't gonna lie to you, that song never fails to move me, sir. I mean, it doesn't. I had the privilege of teaching there in '08 and '09, and when I first went to a game and heard that song and went, especially at the basketball inside the gym, it just sounds that much more poignant. I'm telling you, man. I know the band wasn't hitting like that at Western Illinois. Now was it? All right, I don't want to get you in trouble. We ain't gonna do that, right? But I just know, like I'm from Illinois, so I know the Western Illinois band wasn't doing nothing that the Invincible Marching Marauders do. But listen, man, I am proud, and I hope those that are tuning in now and later would join me in welcoming you and thanking you for joining and being the ninth president of the great institution there in Wilberforce, Ohio. Listen, you have been, both a student, right, at an HBCU. When you were young, you were a teacher and administrator of an HBCU. Just kind of tell us, like, this is an HBCU a day, and we're going to do the same thing Wednesday. Tell us and tell the audience why HBCUs are important in America.
As a student and as an administrator, to me, HBCUs have always been important. When I started attended and graduated from Alabama A&M University, as well as where I did my master's at Virginia State University.
Mm-hmm.
And looking at HBCUs today, I think HBCUs are more important today than ever. When you look at the historical significance and the roles that HBCUs have played over the years, it is nearly impossible to tell the American story without telling the HBCU story. In today's climate of social unrest, HBCUs have been placed at the forefront, and many individuals, leaders, and organizations are looking to HBCUs to help heal this nation in looking at all of the issues that we are faced with today. And we now see more students, as well as we see even more athletes, the top athletes going to HBCUs. And so HBCUs are more important today than ever.
No question, no question. And so, like I said, I know that the audience may know, but certainly, you've been there for a few months now. You come from Western Illinois University, which, as we know, is much bigger than Central State. What lessons or what foresight do you bring to Central State coming from a big state university like Western Illinois?
Well, in looking at my many years of experience, not just at Western Illinois University, but at other institutions like Johnson C. Smith University, South Carolina State, the University of Maryland, Eastern Shore, Middle Tennessee State University. I've held positions at all of those institutions. And because of the various kinds of experiences that I've had, that has well positioned me to lead an institution like Central State University. When you look at other institutions, particularly my most recent institution in the state of Illinois, they had budget reductions just like we have here in the state of Ohio. We went actually 2 years without receiving a state budget, and we had to be very innovative, very creative, and very flexible in terms of making sure that we were able to thrive even during those difficult times. And looking at the pandemic now, I look at that as a similar kind of situation, because we've had to, the university actually went online, fully online, as other institutions did. And then you had to reimburse students as well as for room and board because they were all online. And then we faced more financial challenges similar to what I have dealt with in the past. And because I've dealt with those challenges in the past, it has positioned me to better lead Central State University, which is a smaller institution. And I feel that we can get a lot more done here at Central State. And if you look at the 9 goals that I have proposed, you will see that we're not just surviving, but we are thriving.
Thriving.
And you will hear me say even more in this talk about, our theme is innovation is in our DNA. We believe that. We eat and sleep and breathe that. And we're moving Central State to the next level.
No question. And I'm certainly excited to have you on board and to have you in the community. And one of the speaking of COVID, I know you recently you had to have a virtual homecoming, right? And what was that all about? How did that turn out?
Well, that was a little different from any homecoming that I have seen before. But I thought it was just great. We had a virtual homecoming, and I was just pleased with the kinds of things that we were able to do. We had the band to perform. We had the university choir to perform, as well as we had the alumni and friends of the institution joining us. The alumni had a breakfast, a brunch, and they had a national alumni meeting where I gave the state of the university address. We had several classes, the class of 1970 and the class of 1965. I addressed both of those classes to talk about the future of Central State University. And then one of my vice presidents, Dr. Zilla Fluker, who's our vice president for institutional advancement, during the virtual breakfast, a brunch rather, she had a setup for us as my leadership team. All members came dressed in Central State University's paraphernalia. And to look at us as the way we were dressed, and we had our music, we had football as if we were going to have a football game on the table, as well as the jerseys with the date of the founding of the institution. And when people saw that, they saw that we were just as enthused as if we were having a face-to-face homecoming. So that virtual homecoming went well, and we even raised about $140,000. Our alums did, and then you may have heard that I donated $50,000 of my salary to the university for scholarships for our students. That encouraged some of our alumni who came on board to talk about what they were doing to give and to match that from each class. So we're even expecting even more funding coming from our alums because they saw that at the homecoming that I made an investment, my leadership team made an investment, and my board of trustees member are making an investment. So that's going to help us with our multi-million-dollar fundraising that we're going to have here at Central State.
No question.
So the homecoming was great.
That's good. No question. And I know, like I said, when I contacted your office, I am excited, on social media, just how enthusiastic your alums are. And especially now, of course, I'm connected more so with the younger ones, the one have come out in the last 10 years. But certainly even, the ones who are still in the Dayton area, I see them all the time, right? So I just know that Central State has such a rich tradition. And the president before you, she done some great work in terms of moving the university forward. There's a lot of building going on your campus. Talk about that. What are some of the exciting new facilities and buildings that are being built on campus?
Well, when you look at our campus, we have a new student center that's been there maybe about 3 or 4 years now. And it is one of the state-of-the-art facilities on our campus. And it sits right in the heart, I say in the middle of the campus. And it really graces the campus quite well. And it really makes the campus look really, really good. And we're going to build a new ag farm. As you know, we are an 1890 land grant university. And we're going to build an ag farm across the Highway 42 across from the campus. And that's going to showcase the things that we do in ag. Also, we're starting a new honors college here. I just hired the inaugural executive director of the honors college. We do have two residence halls that are designated for the Honors College, and we're going to build two more facilities. Some will be a couple will be residence halls, but we also want to have a specific area in terms of administrative area for our honors program. And this is where we're going to bring more of the high achieving students, those valedictorians, salutatorians, those merit final and finalists
Right.
for to bring more high achieving students, which will help in terms of our overall academic profile. But when you look at the campus, we do have a couple of other new facilities. When you look at our water resource management program, it's housed in one of the state of the arts facilities, which is fairly new as well. And we are the only HBCU with a water resource management program in the
Program.
and we are one of four institutions in the country. So we pride ourselves on having that signature program. And we're looking at others too. So we'll be looking at other facilities when we look at our overall master plan and what we plan to do here in terms of growth, in terms of facilities.
And the reason I asked that, I mean, obviously, is a chance for you to brag, but and then obviously brag on the work that your predecessor did. But it's because, as you know, like with building is a manifestation of life, right? It's a manifestation that this campus is not dull, it's not dead, it's not old, it's young, it's vibrant, it's growing. And so that is why I mentioned, and that's why those who are listening who have young people who are interested in possibly coming to Central State that's on their list, you need to know. You hear now from the current president, now you hear from him, you got a co-sign by me saying, look, that place is vibrant, the place is doing great things. And Dr. Jack Thomas said it. Also, you have a current partnership with Apple, right? And their racial justice a program that allows resources to sort of continue in technology. Can you talk about that program and partnership?
Yes, thank you so much for mentioning that. We were very pleased to get that relationship with Apple. And the relationship with Apple, racial justice and equity enables Central State University to foster community outreach and engagement with equipment investment and coding programming. This is a brainchild of Dr. Robbie Melton, actually, who is at Tennessee State University, and she's on my Blue Ribbon Task Force, and that Blue Ribbon Task Force was my transition into Central State University. And I like what she stated is that she wanted to see more minorities in terms of doing coding, as well as more women in the next 5 to 10 years doing coding than ever before. This is a great partnership for us. It provides funding as well as for some infrastructure kinds of things. And we're very pleased to partner with Apple.
No, that's exciting. That's exciting. And so you had made a little reference earlier about the relationship of COVID-19 on online school, obviously the homecoming piece. As you know, I'm sure just like our president here, Wittenberg, you're on the line with state legislator, often. As you look into 2021, what do you see? I know you may not have, you don't have answers, I know, but what are your expectations as we move into 2021 and the ways in which virtual learning or the opening up of the campus looks like?
Well, when we went into, I always say hibernation, not hibernation, but we actually went online fully, and that was prior to my arrival. But once I was named, I started working with the university officials and leaders, as well as board members, in terms of what we had an IRT, which is an institutional response team.
Mm-hmm.
And that institutional response team came up with a plan of how we would reopen the university in terms of providing a very safe campus. And I often say, even to the legislators and to the governor and to the other presidents and chancellors when we meet, that we are in a unique situation. We're in a rural area, and we feel that that worked in our best interest. We tested all of our students as well as our faculty and staff. The governor cited us for stating that we were one of the models because we tested all of our students, and he asked the other institutions to do follow suit and do similar things as we did. Um, so we feel that we have a very safe campus. That institutional response team is looking again at how we're going to open in the spring once students come back in January, and then what we're going to do in case the pandemic continues on through the next fall semester. We'll be looking at that and deciding. But let me talk a bit about what this pandemic has done.
Mm,
Oftentimes we look at it as negative, and we know that it has had a negative and a tremendous impact on the world. But we got to look at the positives here as much as possible as we can do. We try to take the negative and turn it into a positive as much as possible. Um, we should have been online all along in terms of higher education. This has caused higher education to pivot and do more online. If you look at Central State
mm,
University, uh, for the future of Central State University, we're going to be doing more classes and more programs online. We have a great number of students online now, in addition to our traditional students. And that's where our enrollment will be continue to increase. We have increased this year in terms of online, but we want more academic programs. For example, we're just getting an MBA that will be approved. Was approved by the chancellor. Now is at the HLC
okay.
accrediting body, and we plan to launch that program next fall, totally online. We're working with our faculty to look at other academic programs that could be online. We just got approved an interdisciplinary program that would be online as well. And we're trying to transition more classes, more programs online so that we can reach not just have our students who may want to do just online, but we want to reach those non-traditional students. We
Right.
want to reach those students who are place bound, and we want to reach those individuals we consider to be stop out, where they
Mm,
started here at the university, but they didn't finish, and now they're into their careers, and we want to make sure that we're reaching out to them as well to get them to complete their degrees. Uh,
yeah.
and more traditional institutions, more traditional students, and then we'll be working with business and industry to educate those populations as well.
That's exciting. And again, we are on with we're closing an interview with the president of Central State University, and we're excited about this. You had mentioned non-traditional students, and as we know, one of the gems of your campus actually is also the West Campus, right? That's located right in the heart of West Dayton, which is a rich Black community. People like Mayor Ryan McClin, and obviously Millie Smith, and there's a lot of people that I communicate with that are always talking about programs and things going on at that campus. Like, I know you're proud of that campus. What do you think about that campus, and what vision or continued support do you have for the West Campus?
Well, that's a part of the goals that we have set for the university. We are in have launched this new strategic plan, and that's going to be outlined in our strategic plan. We feel that we have a unique advantage of being located in the heart of Dayton with
Hmm.
our CSU, what we call the West Campus.
Hmm.
And we currently hold classes and host community organizations like the Dayton Contemporary Dance Company
Hmm.
and others as well who are tenants in our facility there. We want to offer more academic programs there, as well as more certificate programs, and we want to do more in terms of workforce development. And again, we are an 1890 land grant institution. Part of what we do is extension and
Right.
reaching out to the various communities, and we want to do that from that campus. And we're even looking at having that campus basically as our online university.
Okay. Okay.
But we're not quite where well, we're not where we want to be yet, but we're
Mhm.
working on it. But that campus is a jewel for us
It
right
is.
now, and
It is.
particularly for the location.
Yeah, no, it is. It is. And so again, the final question. I mean, you're already the president, so you don't really need to elevator pitch. But I do want you to make an elevator pitch for all those who are listening, who have young people who are interested in maybe furthering their careers, maybe looking into your MBA online program. Make a pitch for their child, their adult, their continuing student to come to be a Marauder.
Well, I always say that Central State University is here and ready to receive the next generation of leaders. And I often say that innovation is in our DNA, and that permeates throughout the campus. I invite everyone to look at our web, to come visit our university. We can prepare our students, and we provide a quality and world class education right here at Central State University. Our faculty and staff are second to none. We care about your sons and daughters, and we are a student centered university. I often say that we're not student run, but every decision that we make is with the students' best interests at heart. We
Mm.
encourage our students to think big, to dream big, and achieve their goals. According to the secret of successful mountain climbing, if you aim at nothing, you will hit nothing. If your goals are vague, your achievements will be vague also. However, if your goals are specific, you will harvest specific results. Therefore, it is imperative that you aim high and that your goals are very, very specific. Send your sons and daughters to Central State University.
Ladies and gentlemen, the captain, the president, the preacher, Dr. Jack Thomas. Thank you for coming on Straight No Chaser today, sir, and taking time out of your schedule. We certainly appreciate you, and I look forward to meeting you soon, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Bailey, for having me on. Thank you.
God bless you. Man, he closed that out. He closed that out pretty strong, didn't he? I'm like, I want to go back to school. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to all the Marauders and all the students that who left an indelible mark on my life, right? It wasn't but about 2.5 short years that I was over there. But some of you have and still continue to be very, very important people in my life. Like, I mean, Romeo, and I mean, I don't want to start naming names, but I mean, there are people who are just important people to my life, and so I am just Chris Aaron. I appreciate you, brother. See a revolution, be a revolution, man. I love you, young man. So listen, you heard them. If you're interested at all, if you got them on your list, consider Central State University.